Hello YouTube, this is Darkon633, and today I'm bringing a review of the Power Rangers Dino Charge Deluxe Ptera Charge Megazord. Now, the Megazord is one of my favorite Megazords up to this point so far, and is also one of my most favorite Megazords in the series as a whole. Just because I really like the design of the Pteranodon mode, and I always like the design of Koryu Gold, so this is actually one of my favorite Megazords. Now, as you can see right off the bat, it is a little different than the Japanese release because it includes different pieces that weren't featured on the Japanese toy. That including the chest panel and the giant cannon pieces which are attached to the back. Now, these pieces are removable and it's only there for adding move play values to the figure, since the American release does not include electronics, and the fact that the chest piece was included in order to keep it inside the box without looking like an empty gap, due to the fact that the Pteranodon head cannot fit in the box in the way that it's designed. And it was a clever way to make it look like it wasn't broken outside of the box, and especially for new fans and for the parents and so on, it would look kind of weird just having an empty gap there, and it just doesn't really look that appealing. So I give props to Bandai of America for doing that. Before we go on to the figure, we'll now go on to the look of the box. The box is in your average Dino Charge Deluxe Megazord box, and there's only been one so far. We're pretty much going to be seeing at least two more releases down the line, and a third one, exactly how they're going to handle the Tobaspino, or the, let's see, what was the thing called? It's just been a while, I don't remember exactly what the American version was called. But anyways, it shows that it has the area where you could activate the charger when it was inside the box. Shows a picture of the Pteranodon there. The Ptera Charge Megazord. I don't know why I keep saying Ptera Charge, I meant to say. Then we got the two modes here. We got to look at the features of the scanner app. The back shows the usual features on the Megazord and how it combines with several of the other figures of the line, including the Bunpaki here, which I haven't got yet, and the other chargers promoted on the line, and another picture of the Ptera Charge Megazord on the side there. But anyways, we'll now go on to the figure itself. Now, the figure does include a Dino Charger, which is the Ptera Charge Charger, or the Pteranodon Charger, in a clear plastic similar to the release of the Dino Charge Megazord. Now, it does include the four normal sides as it goes into charged and uncharged modes. And it does work with the Deluxe Dino Charge Morpher, which we have here. That's cool. We're going to take the charger out since we're going to be using it for the several features on the toy itself. But anyways, we'll now go on to the articulation points first. Articulation, unfortunately, is a little different than the Japanese release, since if I remember correctly, the Japanese release did feature knee articulation, but it's not present on the American release, and the hands aren't articulated here, which was able to give it a little bit more better feel when the blades are out. But anyways, we'll now go on to the articulation, which she does feature the shoulder articulation as normal, like in the Japanese release. Same thing with the outwards movement here. He doesn't have any waist articulation, but what's good is that he's one of the few Megazords that does feature some form of leg articulation in the hips, and also can move forward, so that's about it. And his feet can pivot mostly due to transformation, but this really doesn't help too much in the way that it's designed on its own. Now, first, we're going to remove this piece. As you can see, the empty gap is there. And we're going to place back the Pteranodon head here to give him the full look of the Ptera Charge Megazord. Just attaches via these clips right there. So here we go. And now we'll go on to the features of the Megazord, just in Megazord mode alone first. First, he does feature the arm blades, like on the Japanese release, but because of the hands not folding down, it can be a slightly awkward in the way that it's designed, but it still works for what it needs to do. The other feature is that the Japanese release featured electronics, but in Sacrifice, in the American version, it includes the cannons which I mentioned earlier. To activate that, all you need to do is attach the charger inside, and these will flip forward. So it got a nice cannon feel And it does give a little more play value to the American release since they did scrap the electronics. What's also cool is that you can remove these cannons, and you can also plug these onto his hands. So once again, just another added play value to the American release. And these obviously aren't show accurate and not needed for any of the combinations. We're just going to plug these back on since we're going to be showing it off also in Pteranodon mode, since it also works in that mode as well. So anyways, first what we're going to do is take out the charger, since these cannon pieces will stay down as long as the charger is inside. So we're going to pull it out, reset these back into place, and now go on to the transformation. To transform the figure, all you got to do is close up the face, pull up the fins, pull these up, then you're going to pull out the blades, disconnect the entire body and take it out to the side for a minute. And from here, I'm going to bend these like so, and make sure that this piece is upward instead of like downward. So there we go. We're going to push down the feet, and there you have the back piece of the Megazord. Actually, it's supposed to go this way. It's supposed to connect there. But anyways, what we're going to do next is then just attach this together and plug the wings in on both sides. And there we have the Pteranodon mode fully together. Now what's also cool is that the American release also includes this piece here. Pull this outward and push it down, and there you have a way for it to display in Pteranodon mode without it toppling over. And I have to admit, this mode is very impressive. The wingspan is really nice, even for a Bandai America toy. And although it's missing quite a bit of paint, since these pieces are actually blue and went all the way down to the lightning bolts, everything else is pretty close to the Japanese release. Now I forgot to mention that in the Japanese release, this piece would also flip up and down due to the fact it had the evil and good modes of the Megazord, but it's not featured on the America toy, which personally I think is okay, since this piece was kind of a extra piece sticking out and it looked kind of awkward in some cases. So it's not too bad that that's just the molded piece here instead. Now as I mentioned earlier, the feature does work in this mode as well. What you're going to do for this mode is that you're going to push this in, and the cannons will flip out like normal. So there you go. It adds some more play value to the Megazord. And now I'll be back once they transform him back into Megazord mode so we can go on to the combinations. And we're back. As you can see, I already transferred it back into Megazord mode, and I have removed the back cannon piece since it's no longer needed for any other features. Anyways, to transfer it into its combination mode, which is known as Ptera Western in the Japanese release. It's unknown what the American version is because it hasn't appeared in the show just yet. To transfer it into this mode, all you gotta do is plug on the arms. So sometimes I get confused which way the weapons is supposed to go. There you have him fully in Ptera Western form. And in this mode, it does look kind of strange just because of the, sorry, there we go, of the large shoulder pads that he has. So it does look kind of awkward slightly, but it is still fun, and it's pretty cool that they kept the feature in this release. And I have to admit that Bandai America has definitely upped their game in terms of the combinations in general, and I'm very impressed with this toy. Anyways, articulation is pretty much the same, except now I can only move up and down just by the way that it's designed, and for some reason this is causing issues. I might have to actually reverse it, since, there you go. Now it's working a lot better. So now we have full rotation there, and it's ready to attack the villains, and it's very cool. However, that is not the only form of combination this toy features, since he can actually combine with the Dino Charge Megazord as well. Anyways, I'll be back to show the next combination. Anyways, we're back with the deluxe Dino Charge Megazord, so we can do the other combination this toy can do. First, what we're going to do is transform him back into Pteranodon mode pretty much, but we're actually going to remove this piece completely. We're also going to remove the charger since it's going to look ridiculous otherwise. We're going to just go back into the normal transformation as normal. However, we're going to do something different in a minute. So, let's just get this out of the way first. Here we have the Pteranodon mode. Now we're just going to take this off to the side for a minute. First, what we're going to do is remove the helmet. And then we're going to remove the back piece. We're going to take this piece and attach it to the bottom of the Pteranodon mode right here. As you can see, there are two clips up here, which are going to attach here. So there we go. So now we got this. Next, we're going to take this entire component, and on the back here we have 4 different clips where we're going to attach into the back. As you can see, we almost got them fully combined. Next, we're going to take this, and this is going to become the new faceplate for the Megazord. Let's see if we can get it together now. There we go. And here we have information all together. Now, as you can see already, it's kind of hard to see the head of the Megazord, which is even a problem that was featured on the Japanese release, but I can kind of see what they're trying to get at, giving him this really interesting Pteranodon head for a helmet. And he does have a pretty impressive design, even though the combination itself is pretty simple. In the Japanese release, this was called Raiden Koryujin, but at this point in time, it is unknown what it's going to be known in America. But I still have to admit, this is still a very impressive form, and the more sturdy clips alone is a big plus compared to the Japanese release. Now, this one, articulation is pretty much the same. It hasn't added articulation or anything, and that's pretty much what we're going to get, since the hips really won't help you much in this mode because the giant wings supporting the balance altogether. Now, overall, I still think the Ptera Charge Megazord is a very nice release of the Megazord, even though it is a dumbed-down version of the Japanese release. There's a lot more fun features, especially the fact that it's a lot more sturdy is the biggest plus for this version of the release. Now, overall, I still think the Dino Charge line has been the most impressive that Bandai of America has done in many years, and really glad that they're done so well for the line, especially for the limitations they had in mind. I got this Megazord for $25 since it's actually going for on sale right now at Target, which is definitely worth the price. Even at the $35 price, it's kind of worth it just because it is a deluxe Megazord release, but I definitely think it's worth it for the $25 price. So, if you think you want this figure, try to get it at Target right now since there's a sale going on right now for Megazords, and I just happened to find this a couple days ago. Now, I will be bringing more Dino Charge reviews in the future, so expect some pretty cool reviews in the future. Anyways, please comment, subscribe, and check out Hirotaku for the latest in Hero news. Also, check down the other channels down below, and check me out on Twitter under Darkon633. Check out the WRW podcast, which is linked down below. And also, check out the Gideon blog, which is an associated site along with Hirotaku. Anyways, I'll see you YouTube. Bye.